Good morning. Growing up, I had the rare opportunity to live between two contrasting worlds. My birthplace was Germany, yet my upbringing was deeply influenced by the ancient traditions rooted in the Shaolin Temple. In many Asian households, children are often expected to follow a strict path, one that rarely involves questioning their father and usually leads to becoming a doctor, engineer, or lawyer. Anything outside that path tends to disappoint the family. So, I pursued my education with diligence, earning 2 university degrees, an MBA, and a collection of certifications, everything my parents believed would secure a successful future. Yet, throughout my academic journey, I felt an absence. I learned how factories operate, how atoms are structured, how governments function, but there was no subject that taught me about myself. At the age of 4, I was introduced to monastic disciplines. What fascinated me most was that these practices focused on self-discovery. They combined mental conditioning, behavioral refinement, and physical training, elements that form the foundation of what we now call Shaolin Kung Fu. Despite my parents' hopes that I would enter the business world and make an impact there, I chose a different path. I continued my monastic studies, seeking a deeper understanding of who I was. When preparing for this talk, I was asked to share what truly matters in life. It's difficult to condense 30 years into a single speech, but I'll try to paint a picture of what I believe holds real value. There's something powerful in sharing with others, in forming connections, in learning and growing. There's meaning in simply enjoying time, even when doing nothing at all. And perhaps most importantly, there's fulfillment in doing what you love. When I received the invitation to speak at today's event, themed, Higher, Further, to the Top, a memory surfaced. A Shaolin master once told me a story that I'd like to pass on. A man lived near a mountain and often wondered what it would be like to reach the summit. One day, he decided to make the climb. At the base, he met a traveler and asked how he had reached the top and what he had seen. The traveler shared his journey and described the view. But the man thought the path sounded exhausting and hoped to find an easier route. He continued walking around the base and met another traveler. Again, he asked the same questions and received another story. Still unsure, he spoke to 30 more travelers. After hearing all their accounts, he made a decision. Since so many had already described the view from the top, he no longer needed to climb. It's unfortunate that he never made the journey himself. Because while advice can be shared, the clarity that comes from standing alone at the summit cannot be passed on. Buddhist teachings, Shaolin training, and spiritual disciplines all aim to guide us toward that peak. Clarity means seeing things as they truly are. When your vision sharpens, connections become more evident. With clear sight, belief becomes unnecessary, you simply know. You begin to understand which direction is right for you and what choices will help shape your goals. Today, we'll hear from many travelers, each with their own story. But I won't tell you which path to take. Your journey will present obstacles. Some will slow you down, others may stop you altogether. In Shaolin, we refer to these challenges as the 5 hindrances. They represent mental states that cloud judgment and make it difficult to choose wisely. The first is sensory craving. It arises when something stimulates your senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch, and brings pleasure. Imagine climbing the mountain and stumbling upon a beautiful restaurant filled with delightful aromas and charming people. If you give in to the temptation, you stray from your path. And if the desire becomes so strong that you refuse to leave, it turns into obsession. Either way, clarity is lost. The second hindrance is ill will. It stems from negative emotions, disgust, rejection, or dislike toward a person, situation, or object. Picture yourself climbing and it begins to rain. You dislike rain. The roads are muddy, and you hate that too. You need to swim across a river, but you despise swimming. These dislikes make the journey unpleasant. If you don't learn to let go of them, you may never continue. The third obstacle is often translated as sloth and torpor. Sloth weighs down the body, torpor dulls the mind. It manifests as fatigue, lack of motivation, and low energy, sometimes even depression. In Buddhist metaphor, it's like being trapped in a cage. Mental and physical effort becomes nearly impossible. To move forward, you must find a way out of that confinement. The fourth hindrance is restlessness. It's a mind that can't settle. It jumps between past regrets and future worries, never staying in the present. Like a monkey leaping from branch to branch, it's unable to pause long enough to see clearly. The final hindrance is doubt. It's rooted in indecision. You begin to question everything, your choices, your direction, what others might think. The mind loses alignment with your actions, and your goals fade into confusion. When doubt dominates, progress halts. Now that we've named the 5 hindrances, what can we do about them? You must shape your life in a way that prevents them from taking hold. And if they do arise, you need tools to dissolve them. Each one casts a shadow over your mind and your climb. Remember this: let the rain fall. There's a 4-step method to overcome these obstacles. First, recognize your current mental state. Then, learn to accept it, acknowledge the situation or person as they are. Examine your emotions and thoughts. Ask yourself, why did this arise? What happens if I stay in this state? Finally, practice detachment. Understand. I am not my body, not my mind, not my emotion. I can observe all 3 within me. Our experiences are too personal, too unique, to follow someone else's path. To live meaningfully, to give your life depth, you must master yourself and not let these hindrances hold you back. And if any of you choose the path toward clarity, I'll be honored to meet you at the summit. Subscribe now so you don't miss powerful new insights and practices. Like the video, it helps other spiritual seekers find it. And drop the word source in the comments, our shared energy signal to the universe.